Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while. Yes, it's been a long while. About what, like a month and some change since I did a video like this or even a podcast. Honestly, though, you know, it's just got kind of just tiring. It was the same thing over and over. We're still in a COVID lockdown. Your politicians haven't done anything. Black people are still getting murdered. So, what is really new to talk about? We now have football. Whoop de fucking do. What the NBA is going on. I don't know if there's a championship. I don't really follow it, honestly. Let's see. The Astros, who struggled to get into the playoffs for the MLB, literally had a saying they deserve more respect, even though they got caught fucking cheating. What else? A grand jury ended the way anyone with a non-smooth brain would know that Breonna Taylor wasn't going to get any justice. Excuse me there. Yeah. So it's just been the same kind of depressing stuff over and over. And honestly, like, yeah, I've been doing other things like making some money for my LLC, work, playing some video games, watching some anime. They try and, I guess, not have to have the burden of this current sucky fucking timeline on my brain. So yeah, it's a bit of a hiatus. I don't know. Like, I've had some people, shout out to Minister Dawood. He's looking forward to me doing another podcast. And like I at times I want to do one, but then it's like, what am I talking about that people don't already know? Or is what else can you really talk about? You know what I mean? Especially if you don't have guests. Maybe I should try and have guests on. I don't know. You guys let me know. But yeah, so just doing this. I just had some stuff on my mind. Like, just how many Breonna Taylors would it take, right? Just how many until black people actually get tired? Anybody actually gets tired of it. Like, I'm not talking about wearing the kente cloth and kneeling or just painting Black Lives Matter on a fucking street. Considering now a lot of people are saying, it's not just some, I've seen a lot, that they support the movement, not the organization. And yet again, it's become one of those like one of those things, those black-lit things that aren't really doing anything for black people other than just putting black in the name and pretending they are about for all black people, all while they're getting donations from who fuck knows where, left and right, thousands, if not millions. But the black people they supposedly represent aren't seeing a fucking dime. There's no funds. There's no black PPP loans. There's nothing. And black people are still being hit hard by the COVID thing, despite whatever the fuck you anti-COVID idiots and maskers want to say. But black people are getting hit hard, not just because they're catching it. Like, even if they caught the fucking sniffles, people still have to understand there's still black medical racism or prejudice, if you want to put it, where you still have doctors today, modern day doctors, still believing black people feel less pain than anyone else. That's another reason why, the opioid epidemic hasn't really hit black people because, we don't really get them shits. Like, you might get a prescription here and there, but most of it, here's an aspirin, nigga. Go about your fucking business. So yeah, like, even if you caught COVID, we're gonna die from it more likely, not because we're more susceptible to dying from it. It's the fact that just the medical attention, medical urgency isn't there, on top of not being able to pay medical bills, on top of, again, just the medical, pretty much apartheid we experience, and black people, rightfully so, not trusting doctors. Honestly, like, I hate the fucking hospitals. You go in, your knee itch, and you come out with fucking leukemia. What the fuck? So there, then the frontline worker thing, where black people are still getting shit on from being frontline workers, no help for them. But yet we have the BNM organization prancing around, not the movements, not the people actually in the streets holding up the signs, but the movement that with the chick that's the leader mentioned something about Marxism. So all the racist white douchebags on Twitter and fucking Facebook, oh my God, BLM's a Marxist commie. They just throw fucking I swear they just throw those words out there and have no fucking clue what they actually mean. They just say Marxist commie because that's what they've been taught to. Oh, the bad guys. Oh God, Marxism, communism, blah, whatever. That shit also just get tired and having to fucking listen to, see, read, hear. But you got that. So it's like even if the podcast or doing these videos, what has actually changed? And I'm pretty sure after Breonna Taylor, there was another Breonna Taylor somewhere. What it was, you had a black chick just jogging, minding her business, and a white chick threw a bottle at her. This isn't new because Trump's in office. This has always happened. We're just now recording it. Pretty sure somebody said racism didn't get worse. It's just now being recorded. It's a true fucking fact. It's true. It's not getting worse. It's just being recorded. So yeah, what's really new in the landscape? Nothing. This timeline is shit. And if I can get some kind of fucking quantum time machine and leap my ass the fuck out of here, oh, I would. I fucking would. So with that, well, before we move any further, shameless plug here. And it's not even gonna be a plug for me either. Just bear with me for a moment. It's gonna be a shameless fucking plug. All right, one moment. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm not too sure. Matter of fact, I might have to actually hop on my phone to even see if this shit is even popping up. I apologize. This one moment I haven't done the stream y'all thing in a while. Ugh. Are you fucking with me? Like I'm live right now. Can I pull up my own video? There we go. Okay. So it was there. Anyway. But yeah, this is the BAIO site, Land Infrastructure Nationhood. For a lot of people, it's like, what the fuck? What's going on? What can I do? Well, it's a social network, and it's made by and for black people. Simple as that. And before you go, oh my God, that black shit. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Without that black shit, we probably wouldn't. There wouldn't have been a fucking timeline of teachers like Amos Wilson and John Henrik Clark and Ivan Van Sertima or Elijah Muhammad. Like nobody, right? So calm down with your adverse reaction to that black shit. All right. So this is that black shit. And honestly, this is a solution. One of many solutions. So again, this is the BAIO, Land Infrastructure Nation social website. Because a lot of people go, well, why don't black people have their own? We need our own website. We need people try and do it. You motherfuckers don't come and support it. Unless like it's just a bunch of feel good rhetoric or a motherfucker in his garage in a gated community shitting on his own viewers You know that squarehead motherfucker that make horrible R&B music? Yeah. I don't have to name his name. You already know who the fuck I'm talking about. Unless it's that, that'll take your money for some DVDs telling you how you getting your ass whooped. And when the end of the DVD shows up, like, all right, here's what you were, and here's the problem, who's causing it. Oh, you want a solution? Go out into the world in black. That's your fucking solution. Go out among the people in black. Black as hard as you can. That'll fucking fix it. Also, donate to my next thing. All right. But here's the most important part of the site, because a lot of people miss, once they see Black African Infrastructure Organization, a visceral thing happens in their brain, or and have a bunch of questions that are already answered, right? So let's go to the About Us section. All right. Also, the link is in the description. So if you're watching the video, feel free to pause and go to the site. Just click the link, because you can always just resume the video afterwards, right? Or if you don't resume the video, fuck it. At least you got to this point, huh? But the BAIO is a geopolitical social network. We are made up of African American and African diaspora victims. See, here's the thing: African American and African diaspora victims. See, pretty much black people. Despite what FBAs and ADOS or whatever dumbass group that pops up next, it's black people. We pretty much, most of us experience the same shit. Not all. I would say probably 1 to 2%. Is lucky enough to have generational wealth and live in a fucking bubble. But the rest of us, no matter pretty much where we are in the world, have experienced the same fucking thing. But my bones is here. Well, nigga, your bones is all over the Atlantic. Just in case you didn't know, you're all over the Atlantic, not just in America. We were here first. Honestly, doesn't matter at this point who was where first, if you have no, army or ability to reclaim your firstness, your nation, your supposed First Nation. I don't care how many feathers you wear or how many fucking Native American headdresses you wear and how much you claim to be, Cherokee. At this point, in this current time, since a lot of people like to mention what year it is now 2020, and you still don't got a TP, nigga. You say it, nigga. Honestly, sometimes you just gotta say it, because it'll grab your attention. If I don't say it, then sometimes, people just like, oh, what are you talking about? I need you to know who I am speaking to. I'm not speaking to white people. I ain't speaking to Asians, Latins, Latinxes, whatever the fuck a Latinx is. I'm speaking to you, the American Negro, the diasporic Negro. Your bones is all over the Atlantic. It doesn't matter how indigenous you were at this point in time, because if you're not in a country currently run by black people, well, you was there first, but you ain't make it over the finish line, so to speak. All right, let's keep going. We believe self-determination means self-rule and government. The only place that this can happen is Africa. Now, this right here, this is another thing people just minds explode over. It fucking explodes. Which is kind of funny, because we have things called Black in Japan, Blacks Without Borders, showing black people all over the world doing better than they are doing in America. Blacks Without Borders. You got black people in South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, all over the continent as well, doing better than they are here. Why? Because you don't have to face the same thing. You don't have to change your name on a resume to just hopefully you get an interview. Then that's just half of it. And when you show up to the interview, oh, this motherfucker's black. All right, thank you for your time. Goodbye. And your shit still goes in the fucking garbage. You don't have to worry about changing your child's name for fear of white people. That because that's what you do in America. You call yourself FBA 8 cut the check. You can holler all that. You can holler BLM. It don't matter. It does. It's 2020, and it still doesn't matter. Still doesn't matter because you're still doing things in a country you claim you founded, the foundational for, and you got owed something. You still doing things as if you was a motherfucker coming from another country during the Ellis Island period and having to change your name to try and make it in America. You've been changing names. You got black people named Scott and fucking who else? Adrian and Nathan and Zach. You got names like that. What has it done? James, Jonathan, Tony, Anthony, Bill, Rob. Hundreds, if not thousands of black people with those names. And it hasn't done anything for you at all. Here in America, at least. Abroad, you don't have to worry about that. Because if you go with an idea, some gusto, some willingness to actually move forward and do and produce things and build, you don't have to worry about your name being fucking Fuqua or Pookie or Ray Ray. You don't have to worry about stupid shit like that. You don't gotta listen to jackasses on fucking YouTube that sit there and love to hear themselves speak, talking about how good the pound cake speech was. Like, by Bill Pill ass Cosby. So this shouldn't freak you the fuck out. Because honestly, if somebody said, "Hey, why don't you go to Africa?" If you freak the fuck out, but you want a European holiday, you should smack the shit out of yourself. You don't want to go here, but you want to go to cradle of racism, white supremacy. You want to go to the cradle, the creation spot of the thing that is fucking with you in this country. You want to go and backpack and see Paris and eat snails and fucking frog assholes. But here, Africa, all of a sudden that's a bridge too far. You got to be fucking with me. That can't be a real thing. You can't call yourself an intelligent person if this part here encourages a visceral reaction. I don't want to hear Africans don't like us. You think Asians really like you? You think when you go to pick any European small ass fucking country, because they pretty much 2-3 hour drive apart, you think you go to fucking Germany, they really like you? Oh, because you fuck some German bitch don't mean they like you, or you got stabbed in the alley in your fucking pussy hole or some shit. Excuse my language. That the Germans really like you. Oh, you caught that clap when you went to Amsterdam, motherfuckers. They don't like you. Oh yeah, I don't. Please, with this whole visceral reaction of Africans don't like us. Yeah. For all that, stop wanting to go anywhere or dealing with anybody else who isn't Black American, so to speak, if that's going to be your reaction to the word Africa. Also, we are unapologetic, goddamn, Black African nationalists and African-centered progressives. Nationalists have zero interest in overturning the system or being a militant, a subversive, or an agitator within a sinking ship. Now, see, all right, this part militant right here. It's pretty much in the definition of you don't want to be a militant integrationist, right? You're not trying to force people to integrate into something that what did MLK say? I fear I have integrated my people in a burning house. Shit like that. Nah, that's like, well, for me, I wouldn't think it's this. It would tell you like, well, you can't. I guess like a Spanish chick. So there's some real hardcore, mindsets of, you better not like have a twinkle in your eye for somebody you're attracted to that's not 100% black. But it's usually what I believe is stop trying to have black people and stop trying to push yourself to forcibly integrate in a system that just hates you. If you're still in America, well, you can't even say you're integrated. You're dealing with your current reality. So it's kind of hard to get around dealing with your current reality. You got to move within the confines, right? So yeah, just don't try and put yourself in shit that you don't belong in, and don't try and put your family members or your friends or anybody, any other black person, like, well, we need to do. Black people, the number one, even if you don't agree with the BAIO, right? The number one rule, other than be black and die, is to know that black people don't owe this country any fucking thing. Black people don't owe any politician a vote, whether it be out of fear or policy. Black people don't owe any job here, any landlord, nothing here. Because you can't be screaming, cut the check, cut the check, cut the check. I need my check. But then also believe you need to be integrated into the system. You don't owe it anything. Yeah, and I agree, America owes black people. Good luck getting what you owed. Not every loan shark collects on his debt. So, yeah, you might be owed. Don't mean you're going to get it. I'm not saying that you're not owed anything. I'm not saying we're not owed anything. Any black person in America, I'm not saying they're not owed anything. But you don't owe anybody else a goddamn thing either. That's it. Somebody go, well, aren't you gonna? No. Vote for who? I don't owe you shit. I wouldn't be here in this situation if it wasn't for, motherfuckers gleefully and willingly stealing motherfuckers from a whole nother continent, then treating them like shit and never correcting the system they've put them on. Like, black people don't owe America anything. And when you start that mindset, white people, the security state, all that does become afraid. They call you a threat to national security because that actual threat is black people saying, fuck this place, and actually just going about their business and going abroad or having dual citizenships, having an actual base of operations somewhere other than America. You just put America to the back of your mind. Once you start going, hey, I visited somewhere else I like over there, I want to be there instead of here. You get your dual citizenship or you become an expat. They got to keep the delusion alive. So while they hate you, they don't really want you to leave. Like, honestly, if just hypothetically, if all black people left, what the fuck would these motherfuckers do? Who are they going to hate now? It would probably be a civil war if niggas just left. Cause what the Proud Boys and all these other motherfuckers gonna do? What are the white Jews gonna do? Black people ain't around to beat on anymore. The fuck are you gonna do? Cause they always need somebody to fucking hate or blame or scapegoat on something. Black people ain't here anymore. So again, you don't owe America anything. You don't owe any European nation run, any non-black nation run anything. And if you find a black nation run by black people and they ain't treating you right, you don't owe them shit either. But yes, it's militant. You don't owe anybody anything to have to force yourself to, or your children or your family member to integrate in the system that you don't owe a fucking thing to. Also, being a subversive or an agitator, pretty much saving the nation. America, great example. We're here now, right? Most of you that's listening to this live in America. So being a subversive or an agitator. So you're like, well, what the country is. All right, there's a difference to just knowing what's happening and just spreading the news about what's happening because you still live, quote unquote, behind enemy lines, so to speak. So you should know what the daily going ons is, right? But you don't have to move, vote, speak in a way to save a little sinking ship. It's not your prerogative. It's not your obligation. You can staunchly follow politics in the news, like I do, and I know a few other people who do. Some people don't like it. Oh well, fuck it. Too bad for them. But you can follow shit, but and spread the word of, oh, this is fucked up. This is the kind of system you're in, and stuff like that. Because other people don't know, because not everybody knows everything that's going on. Some people are willfully ignorant. Some people just don't have the time or the mindset to even look into it. But again, no matter how many news articles you share, whatever, or opinions about the system you're in, you have no obligation to try and save a sinking ship. A nationalist is a person who advocates for political independence for a country or state. This is another thing that, even more than being militant or subversive within a sinking ship, it has the same, visceral reaction as Africa or African gets. This right here. This nationalist is a person who advocates political independence for a country or state. Now, as much as Black people cry and moan and wail about the horrid conditions that we're under in America, when you bring up, hey, maybe we can control our own thing. I seen a stupid motherfucker on Twitter go, oh, I just want Harlem back. Bro, you never had Harlem. You never had Manhattan. It was just an area, what is a historic area of Black people going to after, quote unquote, being freed from chattel slavery. That's it. It was just a densely Black populated area. It wasn't an actual town built by Black people. You just moved there. It wasn't like Tulsa, because all the towns the fuck down or rioted the fuck out. So every other place we went, we didn't own the shit. We just have a heavy population there. And a lot of this is people don't want actually to have responsibility or accountability. Because as sad as it is, people would rather just complain constantly about racism and white supremacy. They don't want to actually fix it, because then that means they'd have to do something other than that. Then you also have these talking heads, because there's no Black leaders, but you just have these talking heads like the CBC, your fucking YouTube talking heads and shit. They be out of a job. How do they get funding? Where they getting their money from? If they it is much like it's like the DNC. Oh God, the GOP is bad and this. But when you actually look at what's going on, they fund what Trump wants. They vote with GOP members all the fucking time. No matter how much they fearmonger about the Supreme Court, Ruth asshole Ginsburg, that bitch is voting in lockstep with the conservative judges of the court majority of the fucking time, and was best friends with Antonin Scalia, another gay racist. So, come on. Like, on the surface, white supremacy bad. You need to donate to me so I can claim to have written 80 fucking books and be Black, nigga. That's it. That's it. These Black talking heads don't give a fuck. But they don't want anybody. They don't want you, the lay black person, to actually control anything or create a country, state, anything to control. Because then when you ask them, hey, we got a nation over here we trying to build. You chipping in for it? Then all of a sudden the white man becomes Thanos. The white man gonna come over, he gonna snap you out of existence. So what the fuck then what's the point of you even being the talking head then? What are you crying about racism for or white supremacy for if you know at the end of the day is gonna be the white man's the most powerful being in existence or your known universe? So yeah, this part right here highlighted is another thing that just gets a visceral reaction from the retards out there. It makes no sense why it even does. But if you're actually interested in this, the BIO is the place to be. And you don't have to be from America, a black person from America. You could be in the Caribbean. You can be in Haiti. You can be Guyana. You can be in London. It's for the diaspora. There's no reason we can have 54 black countries, in on African continent, but a diasporic, populace can't come to the continent with that much space and also make a 55th country or nation state. There's no reason why it can't do that. Excuse me, I gotta drink my Yingling Hershey chocolate porter. Been waiting for this shit for fucking ever. All right, moving on. The BAIO is not here to fix America's problems. That pretty much goes back to nationalists have zero interest in overturning the system or being a militant or subversive or an agitator within the sinking ship. It pretty much goes back to that. So we want complete socioeconomic and political control over the context of our collective reality. Most important thing right there. Because, all right, say if you got a car, right? And you're leasing the car or you're financing it. Don't you finally want to pay off that vehicle or end the lease so you can move on to the next thing that maybe you own? Some people lease for life. Kind of stupid, but some people lease for life before you finances out there. You people that actually have an end game. Of course. For you people that have an end game, don't you want to actually, get to it? So it's just an example. If you finance a car for 20 grand, and once you reach that 20 grand, it's finally yours. This the same thing. So it's just something to think about. Also, let's stop sharing this screen. If you're interested, let's go to the next one. There's also a merch tab. Where is that? Boom. There we go. Which is a little bit more streamlined. There we go. So yeah, you can have a LIN in your bathroom, covering your stink ass while you shower. Also for the people who love the Spanx, the pants with no pockets, the thirst traps, depending on how you shaped. Sometimes the wrong people wear these things, and you shape like the letter Jello, and it's just all over the place. Some people have no business wearing these. Wait for the page to load. There we go. Well, if you need to write your ideas or whatnot down a notebook, there's a notebook. Wintertime, the cuffing season is here. cuff and a hoodie. And for you hobosexuals, during the wintertime, you can carry your essentials in a tote bag. All right. But yeah, you can read the rest of this about section in the link in the description. We'll move on. So the next thing I'm going to share, a lot of people know about. It's pretty much like a video, about around 11 minutes. It's about the Breonna Taylor case. So just be prepared to probably get re-upset. Give me one moment. Go, boom. So this right here, this guy right here is Nico House, part of the MCSE network. He created the MCSE network, so he's the CEO of it. Just in case you were wondering, this is not on YouTube. This is on Rockfin. This is pretty much a YouTube alternative site, so that content creators can go and get endorsed by viewers without having to run into the usual YouTube bullshit, which YouTube is just, ever since they got bought by Google, has been full of fucking stupid shit. But here we go.
So the New York Times just released some breaking news regarding the Breonna Taylor case, and to be honest with you, it's probably going to make you sick to your stomach, honestly. But we're going to talk about it anyway. What's up, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream breaking news report of Mikasa Sukasa. And of course, as always, I'm your humble host, Nico House. Before we get started, I would like to ask you to share this video. I would like to ask you to like this video, and of course, most importantly, I'd like to ask you to share this video because I feel like this message needs to be put out for all of the naysayers, for all the people who have been caping for the police state, for all the people who have been caping for a corrupt criminal justice system, for all the people who have been caping that claim that they want a real and big government, and government is inherently corrupt. But when it comes to the ending of Black lives, when it comes to protecting the corrupt criminal justice system, and a criminal justice system that completely and totally disregards due process for those who are not wealthy and elite, this story is for y'all. Because I feel like they need to hear this more than anyone else, to be completely honest with you. That breaking news is that a grand juror, in Breonna Taylor's case says that the deliberations were misrepresented. Now, what do they mean by that? Let's figure that out. The Kentucky Attorney General's office said it would, actually, this is interesting. So I just refreshed this article and they changed the headline, which is, they probably caught some flack for it. I'm gonna tell you why. A juror in Breonna Taylor's case contends that the Kentucky Attorney General misrepresented the grand jury's deliberations and failed to offer the panel the option of indicting the two officers who fatally shot the young woman, according to the juror's attorney. Let me say that again. A juror in Breonna Taylor's case contends that the Kentucky Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, misrepresented the grand jury deliberations and failed to offer the panel the option of indicting the two officers who fatally shot the young woman, according to that juror's attorney. Yes, you heard that correctly. The unnamed juror filed a court motion on Monday seeking the release of last week's transcripts and permission from a judge to speak publicly to set the record straight. Hours later, the Office of the Attorney General, Daniel Cameron, granted both requests, saying that the juror is free to speak and the recordings would be released to the public. The attorney said this: "This is something where the juror is not seeking any fame, any acclaim, nor any money." Mr. Glogwar said the juror came to him last week in a state of turmoil after Mr. Cameron repeatedly said at a news conference, Mr. Cameron being the Attorney General, that the law did not permit him to charge Sergeant John Mattingly and Detective Miles Cosgrove, the two white officers who shot Mrs. Taylor, a Black woman, after one officer was shot by her boyfriend. And he also went on to say, of course, that the jury agreed with him. Cameron said this: while there are 6 possible homicide charges under Kentucky law, these charges are not applicable to the facts before us because our investigation showed and the grand jury agreed that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in the return of deadly fire after having been fired upon. Mr. Cameron said that was one of several moments, where Mr. Cameron said in the news conference, and emphasized the consensus of the grand jury and the court itself, believing that not only were the police officers not guilty of a homicide, but they were actually justified in killing an unarmed woman. Ladies and gentlemen, I just told you, in case you missed it, in a case where 2 officers killed an unarmed woman with a no-knock warrant, the grand jury of that case not only were not even given an option to indict those 2 officers on those charges, but the attorney general then went out and pretended as if they were innocent, that the jury agreed that those officers were innocent. And let me be honest with you, people. I'm not surprised by any of this. Like, I'm really not anymore. But the fact that sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to fix something. What's that? But the fact that there is a criminal justice system that is constantly protected and propped up by people who claim that the government is like inherently bad, when that same criminal justice system is literally sitting in front of a press conference and lying about what a grand jury said as far as this deliberations are concerned. The only option, by the way, that the grand jury was given was to indict the officer, Mr. Hankinson, I believe his name was, Officer Hankinson, who ran into the parking lot all gun-ho like Rambo, firing at Breonna Taylor's home. And of course, the bullets ended up flying into the neighbor's home. That's the only option they had. And of course, they were like, no, that wasn't self-defense. They indicted him on 3 counts of felony reckless endangerment. So if that jury indicted that officer on 3 counts of reckless endangerment, what do you think they felt about the officer or officers, that killed Breonna Taylor? And more importantly than anything else, why was that jury not given its due process? As in, why were they not allowed to fulfill their job? And then why is an attorney general allowed to then go and lie about a verdict that the grand jury never reached? Because this is our criminal justice system, people. Once again, just in case you missed it, this is what the and the grand jury agreed that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in their return of deadly fire after having been fired upon. That was the attorney general. The juror is saying they never said that. That was never mentioned. That was never the verdict. They didn't even have the option to reach that verdict. In other words, not only does the there needs to be some level of accountability Because the fact that this man was so comfortable with lying means this is probably somewhat of a norm in their justice system, at least in Louisville. What makes matters worse is, once again, how we even arrived to this point, which is because that police unit specifically is called the Place-Based Investigations Unit. Do you know why that unit was put together? The Place-Based Investigations Unit was put together specifically to get Black and poor people out of these neighborhoods, because it is part of a quote unquote revitalization project, which is actually a gentrification project called Version Russell, or Visual Russell? Vision. There you go. Excuse me. Vision Russell. That's what it's called. In fact, 10 miles down the street where Breonna Taylor's ex-boyfriend lived, which is supposedly the reason why all of this stuff started, a lot of those houses and neighborhoods were destroyed. And the developers were able to buy the land for $1. So this is not only something that is just rotten to its core at the level of the criminal justice system, the police departments, but the municipality and the local government has been involved too. They were the ones who helped put this police unit together. Oh, but guess what? The federal government is also funding this project, this mass gentrification effort. And of course, the developers are paying off politicians wherever they need to get what they need. Like I said, they're buying land for $1. So if you're trying to figure out why the criminal justice system is trying to protect these police officers, because in their mind, the police officers did their job. That's why they're protecting them. But big government's the problem, right? I mean, yeah, I agree. But clearly, the people who claim that big government is the problem, at least for the most part, only care about when big government is infringing upon their rights. But when it's a Black woman, a Black man, police get to break the law all they want to. I would like to know what your thoughts are about this. Like this video, share this video, leave a comment below. But more than anything else, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, find your balance. Peace.
All right, people. Excuse me. All right, that was Nico House with the MCSC Network. If you're interested in more of that kind of content, go to YouTube, type in MCSC, or Twitter like Nico House. I believe I plugged that right. If not, excuse me. But yeah, so if you made it this far, thank you for watching. But yeah, man, like, how many more Breonna Taylors until Black people realize America isn't that, just isn't that into you? There's other options out there other than having to vote for one guy out of fear of another guy. Too many options. And one is easy to get a passport. I suggest get one. I think it's around like $100-something for most places to get like the card and the book. A little less to get the book, to just get a book. But yeah, like, just stop thinking this is the only place, and oh God, I gotta vote for the Democrat because the Republican is the boogeyman, when your favorite empty suit with a D next to the name is literally at this point a Republican. There's no two parties, is one giant tent and aisle, and every time you pretty much watch either side speak, think of watching wrestling. And not even the attitude era wrestling either. It's not even good anymore. They don't even fucking try. It's more the new era wrestling where it's like, I guess I'm watching this because I like wrestling, not so much I actually like the WWE. Think of whatever president is in office is pretty much Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon's a douchebag. Think of it like that. And they're all like AEW, I believe, or Rising. Pretty sure it's another other wrestling option. Think of those as your different options rather than having to constantly, watch a Vince McMahon production bullshit you through, and badly at that. Don't let the word Africa, cause a visceral reaction in your mind. Think of it as a plan B. You know how, women have plan B pills? How about black people in general just have a plan B? A contraceptive of, freedom, if you will. A plan. Even if you save up and you can't go, and you may have younger family members that you want to see actually be able to flourish, not just have to constantly grind from the bottom with nothing and jump all these unnecessary hurdles and obstacles and break all these glass ceilings that shouldn't even be there in the first place to get what the average white person or Asian person, whatever other fucking immigrant that comes here with money already has. I don't know how many times we need a study. Every few or so years, it's the same type of study that says black businesses aren't getting loans like that, despite we have morons. Yes, morons who, when you say, hey, maybe we should bank black, pull up studies from the fucking, over like 30 something, if not more years ago, of claiming black banks are also redlining. And when you actually read, it's not even an actual concrete conclusion. It's a maybe. Because you're always going to have idiots like that. The minute you propose a solution, they come up with a fucking problem that makes no sense. That's not even an actual fucking problem. But yeah, like, shit ain't getting any fucking better here. 2021 isn't going to be any better than 2020, especially if we're still dealing with the COVID shit. It's going to be the same thing. Yeah. That the nation you want to cape for, scrub balls for, whatever, still isn't getting you anything if you just so happen to go north. If you live like in New York or PA or whatever, any of the northern states, the other America part of the American continent is actually taking care of their citizens. Not saying Canada is fucking perfect. Canada is far from fucking perfect. You still got racist pieces of shit up there too, and you can go in the middle of Canada and you think it's Texas. It's cold Texas. It's cold Texas surrounded by a lot of fucking pine trees. Like, and that's what it is. But the thing is that their government is actually giving people, support, like $2,000 a month, rent and mortgage moratoriums, actual fucking healthcare. And what are you getting here? You're getting nothing from the Republican side other than dismantle Obamacare because a black dude, or a half black guy, I should say, passed a right-wing healthcare plan. And the Dems are like, we must expand on the ACA, aka Obamacare, which pretty much forces you to buy shitty healthcare coverage because it didn't change the quality. Yeah, more people got it, but it didn't change the quality of the shit. There was no cost premium, cost reductions or checks involved. It's pretty much, hey, Aetna. Excuse me, I'm kind of like moving around trying to fucking wipe my glasses off. Fucking smudges, the struggles of a glasses wearer. Sorry for that. But yeah, like it's pretty much, buy this Aetna healthcare plan. There will be no actual premium caps on it. They're not gonna cover anymore. You have pre-existing conditions, but hey, you're still gonna go bankrupt if you need actual medical care for those pre-existing conditions. Because that's one of the biggest parts, is that people fail to realize that people praise the ACA as some miraculous thing, and willingly, at this point, it's just willingly they ignore the fact that it was a heritage plan it was a heritage foundation plan, what was a gift to insurance companies. That's all the ACA was. Now Trump and his Council of Doom removed the mandate stating that you must have coverage or you get fined. That's also another bad thing about the ACA. It still left people uncovered, but now if you in the land of the free and the choices and all this other dumb shit, if you don't get healthcare, you'll get fined for it. So yeah, other you have third world countries with better healthcare than America. You have third world countries which have better election integrity than America. But for some reason, too many people think, even in the local elections, they always better here. No, it can also be rigged. You can also have other corporate interests like real estate interests, big companies like Amazon or whatever coming in and don't want tax codes or for the area to be changed, or they want to get tax breaks for 10 years, then they just up and fucking move the factory any goddamn way or whatever the fuck it is that they built there. That's a big thing in fucking Pennsylvania. Like people think it's oh well, we can, like, you're not doing it here. I'm sorry. It's so bad now. The shit that they was fucking with black people on, I would say at least 45% of it, not 100, because the white people ain't really dealing with fucking institutional racism. I don't give a fuck what any you white motherfuckers say, whether they call themselves progressive, libs, leftist, whatever, right, left, center, dumbass libertarian. Um, White people ain't really dealing with institutional racism. They never will on in a country like this where it was literally built for them to fucking prosper. And if they don't, well, they kind of just didn't play the game right. Also, white people already have their own class, hierarchy that they just brought over with them from fucking Europe, their mother country that they refused to pay taxes to and started a war over. Anyway, but it's so bad now that the cops that they created to catch fleeing slaves they've given them so much power and funding to have all kinds of ridiculous military equipment. Also, Obama helped militarize the police. Just so you know, it's so bad that it's starting to spill over to them. Now they claim that more white people get shot a year by cops than black people. The funny thing is, with all these cameras and everything around, we see more white people fighting cops and getting away than actually being killed. So I kind of question that whole thing with it. Like, oh yeah, more white people got killed by cops than what? I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm not from Missouri, but we got a whole state called the Show Me State, and I kind of agree with that sentiment. Show me, motherfucker. Don't give me a chart or graph that you can just make in Photoshop or Adobe or whatever. I don't want to see charts and graphs. I want to see actual fucking evidence. I want to see it happening on my daily commute to places. I want to see more white people getting pulled the fuck over and blown, they motherfucking brains blown out for no fucking reason to believe that narrative that more white people are getting shot than black people by cops. But I do agree that white people are also getting fucked with by cops, because being shot by cops, it's not the end all being all of being fucked with by cops. Like I've seen white people getting harassed by cops for no fucking reason. Yeah, that happens because they've given their creation, their monster, so much power. Now it's spilling over to them. And the same with these motherfuckers. Oh, government is bad. We hate the big government, until the government is cracking the skulls of people they don't like. But before that, these same motherfuckers, I hate police. Rednecks hate police. The pagans hate police. All these motherfuckers, fuck the cops. Until the cops are fucking with Negroes. Then it's all law and order. So yeah. But yeah, people. It's not going to get any better. The empire is falling. And when it wasn't falling, it wasn't good for us any fucking way. Then every time we have people like Marcus Garvey. Also, before going on to that, you can't call yourself a Garveyite, but don't want to leave America and actually start an actual black enterprise somewhere else. Garvey wasn't like, we doing it right here, motherfucker. Like, no, he was like, I have the Black Star Line. Black people will have some kind of trade, independent trade of their own with the continent and America. If you think this is the bestest places ever, don't call yourself a Garveyite. Honestly, why even? Why even have the RBG flag, the red, black, and green flag, if you think this is the best place and this is the only fucking option to be? You're just a disgrace to the fucking flag. Put it down. Put it down. Matter of fact, burn it so you'll never have it again. Go in your backyard, go in your fucking stoop, fucking burn the flag. Not because it deserves to be burned, because you don't deserve to have it. Don't represent the red, black, and green and go, oh, niggas is doing it right here. If only we vote. Oh, we gotta build a Black Wall Street. So what? White people can then subvert it again, because you're gonna use the same excuse to go. The white people are the white man is Thanos. If he go anywhere, he gonna go over there. But then you, out the other side of your mouth, you talk about making black towns. You want Harlem back and all this other dumb shit. Magically, white people gonna leave it alone now. But if we leave, all of a sudden they'll activate and just send their fucking sent like fucking Terminator fucking pieces and go into fuck. But yeah, before this video gets too long, it's already a fucking hour. Yeah, you got other choices. BIO is one. You join, sign up. We got a Discord. We got the other chats and shit like Discord, and we got a Facebook group as well. Or, Facebook chat, Facebook group. Join the BIO if you're really into this shit. Don't come in and asking where the land at, motherfucker. Where the land at? Where your check at from the white man? Man, how about that? Because why we still in what some people call the mustering stage of gathering members. If you have an idea, if you have a connection, bring it. It is greatly needed. That's what the BIO is looking for. We ain't looking for motherfuckers who want to just ride the coattails and wait. Honestly, even if you don't happen to have the connections or whatever, but you just something. If you have like an accounting skill or social skill, anything, but if you do have like a skill in architecture or STEM field skill, shit, if you know how to fucking cook, still need people to cook. You can't have a nation with people. You can't build a nation of hungry motherfuckers. Come join the BAIO. If you've been driving, you've been in transportation for years and you know how to operate buses and like diesel fucking rigs and shit like that, still a useful skill. Hard and soft infrastructures builders are needed. But don't come and asking where shit is at, because that just shows you're not willing to actually give anything. You're waiting for some other people to build the shit and you come and leech off of it. But that's all I gotta say, people. And if you made it to this point of the podcast, thank you very much. What? Peace. Till next time.